Hi guys. Well, thanks for joining me. I have a journal here that I want to share. It was a New Orleans themed journal and I'm giving it as a birthday gift for a friend this weekend. So I wanted to get a quick video just to show the journal. We'll just go right into it, because as usual, I'd like to keep it to 15 minutes if I can. So this is the cover. There's 3 buttons that I just popped on there with the fleur-de-lis on them. It's made from a hardcover book. I just pulled the book out and then made a new spine and then put the fabric on it. And then I did the hitch post close, the fastener. The hitch post, yeah. And then the metal corners. So we'll just go into it. So this is the front, the first page. A lot of this is in the style of Mrs. Cog. I know she does a lot of these, and I just think they're absolutely gorgeous. I hope it's okay that I copied. I'm going to assume that it is, but it is Mrs. Cog that I got this idea from. There's just a little vellum envelope that's got a little card in there with my name on it and where I can be found on Etsy and YouTube and Instagram and, my social media addresses or names. This is a kind of a cute little, it's from a cat book that my daughter had when she was little, and it's kind of a little joke that I have with this gal, and she'll understand why that's there. Anyway, and this here, I know this one popped open already. I've got to fix it, but it's just like a little pocket with a little journaling card in there, and then lots of coffee dyed paper. This was I don't have Photoshop, so what I did with my printer is I just took the pictures that I had from when I was there. I just printed them, and I put the opaque setting on my printer, and it allowed the picture to be printed kind of muted, and I did it in black and white so that there's you can absolutely journal on these pages if you want. So like I said, I don't have Photoshop, so I can't do that many fancy things, but so that's what I did with these. That's a tombstone, and it was behind the fence. Wendy from Wendy's Journal Adventures did some tags and tag pockets in circle shape. So because I didn't want to copy exactly, I decided to go with the diamond shape, and I think they turned out really nice. I quite like them, and I really liked making them. They were fun. This is and then I just sewed around there and put a couple of little brads. I don't know if you can see that. They're pretty little brads. And then this is a pocket with a definition. So I just put some words that are, New Orleans familiar, sort of. This one here is banquette. And then I put a couple of journaling cards. A lot of my images I get from the New York Public Library. They've got a public domain area where you can get a lot of old pictures that are, like I said, public domain, so you don't have to, they're not copyrighted anymore. And so this was our haunted house tour, and it was a big, and I can't, of course, remember the name of the lady, but she was apparently still haunts this building to this day. And so this was a pillow, and it had the fleur-de-lis on it, so I thought it would be appropriate for this journal. And then there's a tag with journaling spot on the back. This is calligraphy parchment. Well, I suppose you could do any kind. It's like a parchment paper. I had it for when I was doing calligraphy, so I used that in there. I edged the page, couple pages with just book page. Because it's her birthday, I just printed off this little image. And then I safety pinned a dollar bill to the page, because apparently if you walk down the street on your birthday in New Orleans, they pin dollar bills to your clothes. So I did that. She'll like that. Sewed an image there. This is beignets, which New Orleans has a really good, I think it's Café du Monde, and they make really good beignets. This is a story of John and Wayne Carter, who were vampires that apparently are still around, or who haunt the locals. This was from a bottle of wine. This Krikova, or it's made in Moldova. Anyway, it was like, it's a gorgeous paper. So I just kept it and made a pocket out of it. And this is also from the New York Public Library, this image. And so it's the tombstones in New Orleans. And so I just made a little booklet out of it, for her to do stuff. Popped it in there. And there's another one of those pages I just printed off in black and white with the opaque setting on my printer. And there's a pocket and a tag, a little invitation ticket. And this is a picture of the swamp. It didn't do a very nice print job, but I kind of liked the way it sort of came out anyway, so I used it. Just a few pieces of fabric scraps with the fleur de lis on it. Another one of those pages. There's an embossed envelope with nothing in it, but she can put stuff in there. Coffee dyed paper. There's a map. This is where we stayed when we were there. And so the front desk there, you can always get a map of the local area or downtown. And so I just scanned it, used it as a page. Piece of ledger paper. There's another pocket. And these were business cards of a couple of the stores, just a few of the stores we went to. I scanned them because I eventually want to make myself a little travel book. And so I would put the originals in my own book. But so I scanned that for her, and she can use that. This design is from, I hope I'm right about this, Izzy B Creations, I think. She did some, little things like this on her channel. I think that's where that's from. And then this is the center signature with the little crowns on the, tassels. And this was my flight ticket. And so I just scanned that and put it in there for her. Ledger paper. There's a piece of the map. Here's the other side of that embossed envelope. And lots of fabric tabs. I tried to use I think of velvet when I think of Mardi Gras. I think of really, really outrageous and outlandish costumes and lots of rich colors and fabrics. And so I thought velvets and purples, and those are the colors that I think of when I think of Mardi Gras and New Orleans. Not that Mardi Gras is not that New Orleans is only Mardi Gras. They've got some fantastic neighborhoods there that have nothing to do with Mardi Gras. But anyways, that's what it made me think of. And there's a little journaling card in a pocket. And there's another little tuck. She can pop something on there. And there's another one of the New York Public Library images with some writing paper. And then some more paper. Another little pocket here with another, this was a store. This artist has a store. And so I grabbed I think it was from a pamphlet. Anyway, I just scanned it and put it in there. There's that haunted house again, the other side of that haunted house. This definition is for Cajun, and there's like a mask tag. And then there's a little postcard writing. This is another thing they say instead of mayonnaise, it's mayonnaise. She'll like that because that's what she kept calling it. Some more pictures. This is from the Library of. She can fill that out. This page was entirely inspired by Jibid Neary. She sews lines on tracing paper, and she puts some botanicals in there, but I didn't have any plants or anything, so I just used fabric. I think I would have preferred a plant because it would have been prettier. But anyhow, I didn't have that. So, and there's an image, a New Orleans image. And then this tag, I just popped some plastic on there and both sides, and then added some of the confetti. I had a couple bags of kind of New Orleans themed confetti. There's a belly. This was a picture I took of it was like a gate or a fence. And so I just zoomed in on it and printed it off in black and white on the opaque setting. And I actually like that. I think it turned out kind of cool. And there's a belly band with a little out of music paper and a little cluster. This was a restaurant. This was a menu for a restaurant. And I followed them on Facebook. And now I find out that they closed down, which is too bad because it was a really good restaurant. The food was delicious. But anyway, I just stapled some pages on there. So, like a little notebook. Just did some stamping, and I have that stamp, which is really cool. I really like that. I think it's Tim Holtz. This button card was actually from her mom's collection. When her mom passed away, my friend gave me all of her mom's old buttons. So I wanted to try to honor it somehow. I still have a lot more, but the buttons didn't really correlate with New Orleans. So, but I wanted to at least get one set of her mom's buttons in there. And there's a little charm with a fleur-de-lis. And there's another pocket. We've got a postcard that I sewed around. And I believe you could actually use this as an actual postcard if you wanted. Anyway. And then more pages. More pages. Another one of those pop-up cat pages. And there's a velvet tab. And this is a pocket with it's like a cabinet card that I just sewed around. Pop that in there. This was a staircase, all the railing on a staircase. The picture I took. And sorry, I hit the camera again. Sorry about that if it jiggled. This is blacksmith. Oh, the oldest bar. What's it called? Sorry, I can't remember the name of it. Oh, and anybody who's familiar with it is probably yelling, it's blah, blah. Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, famous bar, old bar. Really cool. I'll remember the name after the video's done. Another postcard. And then this one here was a receipt that I found off of the New York Public Library. So I just printed that off, and that was a picture I found somewhere. This one here opens up, and then the story in there is a picture of a lost cat, which is actually a lion. Anyway, it was a picture I took, and I thought, oh, well, she might remember our trip if she sees that. Another old map of New Orleans. I think I got that one from New York Public Library as well. Another piece of, another tab. My brother had some guitar string envelopes, and I asked him to save them for me. And then when he gave them to me, I'm not really sure how to use it or what to do with it. So, I don't know, maybe somebody has an idea. I thought it was they're pretty cool. And then I just put this little charm on a paper clip. Isn't that pretty? I thought so. I think it was an old piece of jewelry. Anyway, how did I have this on? Not like that. Oh, I'm really sorry. There, like that. And then I sewed around the pages. This one here is, I just have a little glassine bag with it's a stirrer from the Montleone, which is kind of a fancy hotel in New Orleans. It's got a carousel bar in the middle, in their bar. And I saved the stir sticks. So there's another pocket. This one here, it opens up and it's a story, another vampire or haunting story in there. Something that went on in New Orleans. This is the tickets to get into the World War II Museum. If you ever get a chance to go there, go there. It's a fantastic museum. Loved it, loved it. This is the Oak Alley Plantation, just a picture of that. There's the other side of that tracing paper from Jibid. There's the definition for carnival. This one opens up and it's a story of the Casket Girls of New Orleans. And there's another tab. This one here is a piece of vellum. I have a punch that does just square punches. And so I just put a piece of vellum, sewed a piece of vellum on it. I think that looks kind of cool. This is a piece of Franken paper. Another tab there. Coffee dyed paper. There's some washi tape. Some of my pages were pretty fine, like pretty thin, and they were starting to sort of rip. So I just threw washi tape wherever. This is another idea from Jibid, and it's plastic sewed onto with a piece of paper. And I think she had botanicals in there, like a dried flower, I think. But I have a lot of this New Orleans sort of themed confetti, so I just popped that in there. And then another postcard. More paper. This was a YouTube video I watched on how to fold paper. And this was supposed to be like an envelope, end up like an envelope, a leaf on an envelope, but I didn't, the size of paper I had wasn't correct. So anyway, I used it as a pocket. And I just put an image in there on coffee dyed paper. There's the swamp again. This was a chain link fence looking into a, like a, not a patio, what do they call that? Green space, where people live. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I lose my words when I'm doing a video. Anyway, this is a really pretty picture. It's kind of feathery and sort of makes me think of Mardi Gras or New Orleans and that kind of thing. There's a pocket with a tag. And it's the swamp again. And I did some just random sewing in the dog tag. They give you a dog tag when you go into the National Museum or the World War II Museum. So I scanned that and made a dog tag for her. Definition of mask. And this one opens up to Lafitte Cemetery, number 1. This was a store actually in Austin, Texas, but they give you, like, it's a big handheld fan. So I just scanned it and kind of whited out their name and made it smaller and attached it to a popsicle stick, or like an ice cream stick. I just think it looks kind of cool in the book. Christmas image. And then this is now a hotel, and it's apparently haunted. Of course, I don't remember the name because that would be crazy. Couple of masks. There's the map. Another map. That's, I think that's looking into the cemetery again. Yeah. The swamp again. There's a pocket. This is a cool picture. I really like that. And I sewed around all of the journaling cards. I just think it gives it a nice finished look. Sewed around that picture. There's another image of a street decorated for Halloween. And I just put a couple of, rather than throwing the scraps out, I just pop them there. She can throw them out or do whatever she wants. This one was sewn as well. Another one of those cat pages, which is kind of funny. And then there's the back one. That's her last name initial. I just popped that in there. And that's the back side of the Franken page. And then I just popped a pocket on there and just some little writing paper with some fabric. And then I think she really likes these houses. And so I just, they're so colorful and beautiful. So I just printed that off and made it a journaling card. And then a kind of a carnival postcard. And then a little tuck for the garden district. And this here is a letter. It's a note from the bookmaker. I actually got it from Jibid. She offers it on her website for free. I did change it a little bit. I didn't use all of her exact words, but I did thank her at the bottom for allowing us to use her note. And then so I just sewed around there, and that's Lagnapi, which is something, it's like a small gift given by a merchant to a customer for making a purchase. And I never knew that. So anyway, and that's the back, and that's the front. So that's the side and the top. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Oh, one more thing. I noticed that I have over 100 subbies. Yay me. Oh my goodness. I thought I was going to have I don't even have my entire family subscribing to me yet. My daughter doesn't even subscribe. So I didn't think anything was ever going to come of that. So to have more than 100 subscribers, wow, I am just over the moon. So I'm going to be doing a giveaway. It'll have to be next week now because this week has just gotten away from me with Thanksgiving coming up on Sunday. I have lots of preparations to do for that. And so I won't be having any time to do any kind of crafting or journal making until next week. So so look out for that. I'm going to be doing a giveaway. And just so you know, it's really only going to be for my subscribers, and I'll need to, and I know some people like to be private, but I need to be able to check that you're actually a subscriber. So you can always enter the giveaway and then take your privacy thing off just for the giveaway part, and then you can always become private again after that if you want. But like I said, I just need to be able to check that you're a subscriber. And I think lots of people do that. So I don't think that's that unusual. Anyhow, I will give you more details about that next week. Thanks so much, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.